Well, once again, thank you, Dr. Pierpaoli, and I'm sure that many people watching who either are perhaps already using TRH or people who are considering to use TRH, and I'm sure many will after your incredible information for so many problems, so many pathologies. One of the key questions, of course, about dosing. And I wonder if you can give us any recommendations about TRH dosing, and if perhaps there's any particular cycling that you recommend as well.
Yes. This is not an easy question, but I was thinking a lot about it. Now, of course, TRH is difficult to produce, to synthesize, simply because it is unstable. Right. Instability means adaptability. Adaptability means to cope with different problems at the molecular level even. So TRH has histidine, which is unstable and makes its production difficult. But so it is very expensive because of this reason, not because of profit. It's simply very expensive to produce, and I have a good connection to have the best quality. Why? Concerning the dosage, we started with the lowest dosage of 5 milligrams sublingual. If you don't take sublingual, throw money, it wouldn't work, because it easily destroys immediately in the stomach. So going direct into the bloodstream through the sublingual tablet, we are saved.
Very good.
It's a great achievement in my view. And then 5 milligrams, okay, we have to distinguish between the ones who are well, they don't have severe pathologies, and who have severe pathologies like diabetes, obviously. Also, another problem is that maybe, I'm not so sure, but probably by enhancing, increasing the metabolic pathway, it makes a demand for thyroid hormone lower. So once you take TRH, you have to check whether you can or not decrease the level of your thyroid supply. And TRH, I recommend, let us say, to start with 5 milligrams. If you are well, you don't have severe pathology. It's different if you have diabetes or cardiovascular disease, atherosclerosis, whatever. Then you have, in my view, 5 is a little, you can go up to 10 milligrams. Also because of the cost, because we want to give you the minimum which is enough for you to feel the benefits, and not to exaggerate, is no use. Also because you don't have to take TRH all the time. I noticed already from my mice experiments that you have to give cycle of TRH, and then to check about the blood test, whatever, and the behavior also, because I noticed, for example, if you give to mice all the time uninterrupted, they become very aggressive, very nervous, probably because they have excess of energy. So that is why I was thinking maybe it would affect the thyroid. It's not the thyroid, it acts by itself, improving the metabolic pathway, and so you become more vital, the mice become aggressive. So it's not the case for humans, because in the mice I was giving all the time the drinking water or injecting. In humans you can see, you can evaluate easier whether the dosage is too high or not. But I will start with 5 milligrams and then make cycles. I recommend not to take TRH like melatonin in the night. You take all the time, but good for you is totally different story. TRH is a rapid acting agent, very powerful. So let us say if you want to maintain your vitality, your health, you make cycles. Let us say 20 days, then wait a month, there are the 20 days. If you are in decent condition, if you are sick, you have pathology, it's a different story. You can increase the dosage to 10 milligrams, maybe 15, 20, because I must point out, very, very important, there is no side effects. In the literature concerning TRH, there is a lot of literature. It has been injected even in a huge amount intravenously, with no side effect, some shivering, temporary, that is all. That what is very important, it's very safe, has no side effects, even if you take a large amount intravenously, so there is no danger to your health, nothing can happen. So this is safe. And then you can start with 5 milligrams. and then make 20 days
Yes.
blister, and you wait a month, and then you see. But I want you to check your blood test.
Right.
You must show. I want to
Yes.
show you to your friend in a simple way that
Before
it
and after.
works.
Yes, yes.
And it's not wasted money. Also, the cost is not due to the profit,
Yes.
let us say, but to other reasons.
Yes, yes.
Mainly
Yes, as you described.
how expensive is to produce it.
Yes, you described, yes, yes.
And I have been familiar with those producers for many years. They're honest, they're clean, but
I think it's a very important, that's very interesting, Dr. Pierpaoli. It's very clear that dosing can become complicated because those with pathologies will need more, they'll need to take it more regularly. But I find it very interesting that those without pathologies who want to benefit from some of the TRH benefits can take a simple 5 milligram, presumably first thing in the morning.
I'm using myself, of course, and my relative, my wife, all surrounding me, dear patients, of course. I have made study also on the cyclicity, on the circadian rhythmicity of TRH, and I came to the conclusion that TRH helps you to get up in the morning in good condition.
Right.
So instead of putting in the night, you may sleep well, but maybe not necessary. But when you have to start the day, you put under your tongue the TRH before you get up from bed. And then you stay there, it dissolves slowly, you keep it there, don't waste it, don't swallow it because you waste the 5 milligram. You have to keep it there for 5-10 minutes, you can even fall asleep again, and then I recommend to take it before getting out of bed, in the early morning when still are in bed. It's the best system. You have the best absorption under the tongue, you get friendly with TRH. He becomes your main friend, in my view. And then you get up and then you start a new day. Because TRH prepares your metabolic pathway to the day energy, to the day in work, to the day challenge. And that is when you have to take it. And also it will improve your body temperature. Will help you to acquire the morning temperature, which is precise and prepares you to the day.
Yes, that's fascinating, Dr. Pierpaoli. So obviously it's very interesting, quite funny in fact, that some of your research, there's 2 things you must keep by your bed. TRH for first thing in the morning and melatonin for last thing at night.
And that is the best guarantee.
We like that.
To prevent aging, in my view. I use it myself. I hope to be able to show it personally.
I hope so too. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Dr. Pierpaoli. And I think we should say something now because, of course, the name TRH suggests that it has an effect on the thyroid. And I know that you've stated in your previous interview with me that TRH has a little effect on the thyroid. What's your current position, please? And what do you recommend if a patient is taking a thyroid medication and is also considering to take TRH?
Again, we are in front of a semantic problem. It's like prolactin. What has prolactin to do with prolactin? With milk secretion? Maybe yes, but not relevant. It's a gigantic molecule having so many effects, which Peter were calling it versatilin, can do everything and nothing. So it's a semantic problem. TRH was given by Roger Guillemin, whom I met also personally many years ago at the Congress, was given because of giving some name.
Yes.
And it was extracted from the tons of pig brains. It was a fascinating story. He deserved the Nobel Prize, really. He was a great personality. And he gave this name because it's a tiny peptide which has some effect on the thyroid, not on the thyroid, on the pituitary gland, or TSH, which regulates the thyroid hormone secretion, production and secretion, and gave this unlucky name. But and then it's considered a hormone. And you imagine what a disgrace it is that we have this name which is totally wrong. And then, of course, it is considered as threatening, is a hormone, be careful. Stupid. It is not like that. It's nothing, hardly anything to do with the thyroid gland. It is to say, if your pituitary gland doesn't produce TSH, you can inject TRH and see whether it will affect the release of TSH in the blood. This is a test, which is used, the only use we know of TRH. But again, we are become slaves of stupid names. Why? TRH has some effect perhaps on the thyroid, but I think it's a totally separated level. Imagine that in some mammals, human is a mammal, the dog is a mammal, the pig is a mammal, the donkey is a mammal, excuse me. TRH has hardly any effect at all, has no effect at all in these other mammals on the thyroid function, which means that even the activity in humans is irrelevant. However, for the sake of patient and my own, I would say that if one has some thyroid hormone supply because it's hypothyroid, is a universal problem now in the world, is hypothyroidism affecting almost everybody, sooner or later. I recommend that if you take thyroid T3, T4 supply, T3, T4, not only T4, doesn't work, T3, T4 supply, you can check whether by taking TRH your metabolic energy, your metabolism is improving, and you may, but I'm not sure, you may decrease the dosage of thyroid hormone supply. You just check. And the way to know it very clear, very safely, 100% simple and efficient is to measure body temperature.
Right.
All my patients, thousands of them in 15 years, they have a thermometer.
Yes.
This is the only device I need. With a thermometer, you can know precisely 100% whether your thyroid is functioning or not.
Right.
Because as Brother Barnes described 100 years, is great doctor, American doctor, wrote a book. He described how you can see whether you are not hypothyroid with body temperature.
Right.
In the morning, all my patients have a thermometer.
Yes.
And most of them, if not 100%, they are hypothyroid sooner or later. Or pituitary hypothyroidism, this is another story, or thyroid deficiency for some reason or another, is now universal. You can measure thermometer. Temperature, I ask them to measure the body temperature between 7 and 8.
7 and 8.
I don't care if they have the night work, whatever.
Right.
Whether they are getting up earlier or late, doesn't matter. Between 7 and 8. Because the body temperature does like this, sinks, you have a night decay, the temperature is lowest in the night, and then when you have to prepare yourself to the day work, increases, and is inflexibly, clearly between 7 and 8 in the morning, you must have a temperature in Celsius, 36 to 36.3 and 66.4.
Right.
And you know that they're increasing, and then you have the peak of the temperature at 36, 7, 8 at 5 p.m. Makes like this.
Yes.
And if it is not like this, you have to do something.
Right.
You don't have, because I must tell, sadly, that laboratory tests, so the parameters measured, the doctor, are totally wrong.
Right.
Misleading and even dangerous. Because, for example, TSH, which is controlling T3, must be kept to 0, not to 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Incredible withdrawn medicine is a disaster. So now say that when the patient asks me, should I make a test? No, don't do anything. Take a thermometer and
Yes.
then they all measure it,
Very
and you can see
very
perfectly.
specific. So if you're more than, say, 36.4 degrees Celsius at between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning, because you're taking, would you recommend reducing your thyroid dosage?
Yes,
and
of course.
And conversely, if you're less than 36,
Yes, very
you should
simple.
increase your dosage.
Yes, you just take a piece, a small piece less or more, you correct it, you change completely
Amazing.
your metabolic pathway. You feel you don't have any more headache, you don't have reflux in the stomach, you don't have colitis, you don't have. It is all depending on low thyroid function. It is too much, for example, you may take too much. You decrease a little bit. If the temperature is over 20, 36, 4,
Yes.
already 5, 6, I say, well, reduce it. Of course, sometimes they are misled because they think that perhaps when you have, for example, tachycardia, you know,
Yes.
frequent blood
Heart rate.
heart frequency
Yes.
beats, they think it is due to overdosage of thyroid hormone. It is not true. It is the opposite. They run to the cardiologist say, oh, you take all thyroid hormone. Oh, it is the opposite.
Right.
Your heart is rebelling, starting with the frequently tachycardia is due not to excess of thyroid
Incredible.
hormone, to lack of thyroid hormone.
Amazing.
Because why? Because the metabolic way is
Yes.
slow pathway, and your poor heart doesn't receive enough oxygen.
Ah.
That is why it's rebelling.
Yes,
And
yes,
the cardiologist is
Yeah.
that's things
Incredible.
which I
Incredible.
strongly disapprove.
One thing we should perhaps also touch on, Dr. Pierpaoli, is you mentioned earlier, of course, that the traditional response of using injected TRH is to see if the TSH
Yeah.
level increases. And then a little bit later on, you said you like to keep the TSH level as close to zero as possible. Is that a contradiction? If you take TRH and it increases TSH, but you see patients with virtually zero TSH, how is that possible? Does that?
I think we have to revise the whole of medicine, including laboratory tests. The one who decide these values in the WHO in Geneva, I don't know who is doing that. Unfortunately, I have evidence that is all wrong. And how to explain that in order to be safe, that your metabolic pathway is right, you produce oxygen, you produce energy, you must keep the motor, so to say, functioning at higher speed, with the right gasoline. And generally, I learned that TSH is better to be kept to zero,
Right.
because then you are sure that the quantity of energy is proper, that T3, T4,
Yes.
or T4 converted to T3, all this is
Yes.
proper.
Yes.
Because also you should talk about another pathology generated by the pituitary gland producing little TSH. This is another fascinating story for
Okay.
another time,
That's fair
because this is the cause of arteriosclerosis. So in order to be safe, I give enough T3, T4 in order to keep TSH to zero.
I see.
To zero.
I see.
And not to be confused with the story that, of course, if TSH is not produced by the pituitary gland, if you have adenoma, you have other problem, you are removed the pituitary gland. This is a different story, of course. Then it is low, but it is low endogenous production of TSH is low,
Right.
and then you can check it by giving TRH. But believe me, it's a totally irrelevant story.
I see.
It is not a fundamental.
I see.
It generates only confusion.
Yes, I understand.
I don't know if they want to generate or it is generated. I don't understand. I don't care. TSH must be kept to 0.
Right.
0, 0. You know why? Because I found out that the level of T3 and T4
Yes.
indicated in the laboratory test, minimum mass, is ridiculous. It must be 2-3 times higher
Incredible.
than indicated. You understand?
Yes,
To be safe, I say, okay, take as much T3T4 until you see that your TSH 0.000.
Right, right.
And people are resuscitating, believe me.
That's
So
incredible.
imagine how difficult it is to cope with this problem when you are in front with the doctor, endocrinologist, laboratories showing this totally wrong references.
Yeah.
And the doctor, they believe it, I don't know.
It's a mountain to climb, but hopefully we'll get there. Thank you. Well, Dr. Pierpaoli, I do congratulate you on your very exciting research, and I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more about this. But I was wondering, you're very well known, of course, for writing to the public, for writing the melatonin miracle. Might we see the TRH miracle book appearing soon?
Oh, I would love. Of course, the miracle book, melatonin is scientific. Science taught, explained to people. And TRH is even a more fascinating story. Of course, I have in mind to write such a book, so historical book, I would say, but it is not so easy. I tried to have a book published with a colleague in the United States, and it is a big work because I have all the literature on TRH, and of course I've done a lot of work, and it should be explained something which comes completely unexpected. Like the melatonin miracle shocked the United States, the world is still as shocked and is not accepted somehow because it was not understood. Melatonin allowed me to understand that there was some mechanism of action, and then I found TRH. But it will be even more difficult to convey, not only to the people, common people, but to the scientists, and a second shock, because this is by far more relevant than melatonin, because this is a life-saving molecule, this is a curing molecule, is a preventive molecule, and therefore I am fascinated the possibility to write a book with an American colleague, to explain what it is, how it started, what it means, how you can profit of it. And our strength is science. Our strengths are the facts. Our strengths are the cured patients. I have thousands of cured patients. So I'm not afraid of showing what I have. But it is really beyond any knowledge we had until now. It goes further, it goes behind the real origin of life, and how we are maintained, how our body can be maintained in good condition as long as our lifespan, life program has expired. That, as far as we know, it's 110, 130 to 130. This is lifespan of human, apparently. So I do believe that we can reset the clock.
It's fantastic. I think a long, healthy life is what we all want. And my goodness, we really look forward to your book. And Dr. Pierpaoli, I'd like to thank you very much for spending some of your valuable time with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Help.